Open Stages is the Royal Shakespeare Company's new large-scale project aimed at engaging with amateur theatre makers. Throughout 2011-2012, almost 300 amateur theatre companies from across the UK will create their own RSC Open Stages Shakespeare production. As part of the project, the RSC are working with regional theatres and key theatre training institutions to deliver 10 Open Stages skills exchange events throughout the country, where professional and amateur theatre makers can share skills, ideas and experiences.
The nice thing about this morning is people have come in, it's a Sunday morning, it's a relaxed environment, and they're doing these workshops for fun, and that really actually opens up your mind and your body to being able to discover more a lot more quickly. The next person you see is your friend, so you're going to give them a hug, yeah? Bring it on in. The kind of movement we're doing is not about technique or training in the sense of I'm learning to be able to turn a double pirouette or do any of those things. What we're doing is we're looking at everyday movement and how you harness and alter that in order to play a part generally within a naturalistic context. So what's really fascinating is there's really no one good or bad in terms of what they bring. They just bring themselves, and we're looking at how that can become transformative material for delivering a story.
But I am banished, and sayest thou yet that exile is not dead?
I want people to kind of start almost kind of stripped with that idea of I don't have to act, I don't have to put on a funny voice. And so we're stripping it all back because it's important that that person starts to feel that they're putting on their own post-it notes and they're making an investment to get physical.
And when you feel like it, Joe, you're going to walk into the space. As soon as Joe's joined you, boom, you're in relationship with each other, you're in contact with each other.
We looked about trying to create a playful, safe environment in which the actors just started to trust being in relationship with themselves, another actor on stage, and the space, and how surprisingly that began to already create stories in the minds and the imaginations of the audience before they even spoke. And that we got to that little place where people started to really want to speak and the audience really wanted them to speak rather than they spoke because it says there it's their line coming up now.
The only way we know anything about someone is by their actions. And so the sort of actions that you perform in order to get what you want are what we've been looking at.
Because I think you have quite a lot
when you guys
of
said make a fuss,
pressing and you're quite direct, to use that word. You mentioned there wasn't anything floaty about you making that fuss.
We've been looking at how do actors become really specific about what they're doing when they're on stage.
All you can move is the very last bit.
Nothing else must move. The knuckles mustn't move, the other fingers mustn't move.
I'm going to go home and do this now.
I don't think we know what the end result of this project is going to be. I think that's part of the fun of it, is how the amateur companies and the professional companies and the training providers, how we all come together and work with no real knowledge of how that might come out in the end. I think that's going to be the interesting. I think that's going to be the really interesting part of this.
Or just a place where people have to wait. And waiting for something
we can all be strangers.
I don't think like you say, it might not be as clear, but I think if you can cover some of those.
I'm quite interested in what pieces of work. The interesting thing I think we're always saying about open stages is this is the project that we do to find out the project that we should have done. So eventually we'll come out of this with a new project, a new idea of what we should be doing and how we should be engaging with the amateur community.